Welcome back to Cozy One Podcast. My name is Shan, mama of the girls. Got two girls. Y'all pray for me. Welcome back to Cozy One Podcast, where I talk about everything parenting that they don't tell you in the cute, fluffy, cutesy books. I give you it real. Okay? Today I wanted to talk about good mental health equals healthy kids because it does. I don't make the rules. This is just what it is. I think kids go through so much today just because they have access to way more things than I had. When I was little and I was 7, all I had were my toys, TV until TV went off, a strict bedtime. I could be outside on the stoop sitting down if I was in Philly. When we lived in Maryland, I could be outside in the neighborhood and I had to be in before 6 o'clock, right? Today's kids are the most non active know it alls on technology from the moment they wake up till they go to sleep. And it's very scary what they have access to in these games that are so reality based, but still not reality. And I think kids worry about so much more and they have a lot of pressure to be what they see on games, to be what they see on TikTok, to be what they see on YouTube, to just hurry up and be an adult because it looks like adult life is fun. Adult life is not fun. And no matter how many times I try to sit and tell my 7-year-old, like, I would trade places with you any day because adult life is full of a lot of things you don't want to do, some things you like to do, and paying for the fact that you wanted to do the thing that you like to do instead of the thing that you needed to do. So I'm all about making sure my children stay children as long as possible within their child life, but also giving them the things that will encourage them to try, encourage them to go against the grain, even though somebody else is not doing the same thing they like to do, and just be all around good, healthy kids. And with our children not being around other children right now because of this pandemic, we got to make sure that mentally they're okay. And we got to make sure that anything that they're thinking about that they're not asking, we bring up like, is there anything you want to talk to me about? Is there anything strange that you've been thinking about? You know, if they cuddle with you on the couch, what you thinking about? Why you looking like that? Why you been in your room all day? Like it's kind of like probing, but not probing in a way where they feel like you don't trust them. So I'm talking about mental health. Okay. Let's get into the show. Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the show. Don't forget to check out teespring.com/stores/cozy shop where you can find hoodies, mama stuff bag, hoodies for kids, fanny packs, mugs, t-shirts for dads, socks for moms, and sweatshirts. All right, I got your merch on there. I also have Mama's Cozy Shop, which is a cozy shop for mama like things. All right, back to the show.
Here we go.
Back to the show.
Back to the show.
We're back. All right. So, as a parent, I think it's super important for myself to be very positive with my girls. There's so much going on out here in the world that I might as well be positive about something. I think it's very important for me to make sure that they laugh more. I think it's very important for me to be open-minded to what they're into that I don't understand, like Shopkins and Baby Alives. Even though when I was little I was into Baby Alives, but I really don't get the doll game now. What else are they into? They're into Roblox. That's a game where it's kind of like interactive and it looks like you're in the game while you play it and they can play with each other on their iPad. I'm not into that, but sometimes I have to act like I'm into that just so I can talk to them on their level. And I think that's super important. And it's also super important for me to be aware of what they're watching and how they're internalizing what they're seeing and be there to answer any questions they might have about what they're watching, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, or watching other kids play with other things, right? And I think as parents, it's important for us to not make fun of them, to let kids know that you're available if they want to talk, to let them draw out, anything they're thinking about. Pay attention to what they draw. That's another expressive way that they might get a thought out that they don't want to verbally talk to you about. I think it's very important for us to be honest and find some understanding with our kids and not make fun of them, because the moment you make fun of your kid when whatever they're talking about or saying is not funny to them, they're going to feel like they can't talk to you. And that is the last thing I want raising two girls, is for them to feel like they can't talk to me. So that's important. I think it's super important to pull them out of the mundane routine of waking up, brushing your teeth, taking off your pajamas, leaving your pajamas on the floor, going on the iPad, staying on the iPad, eating while looking at your iPad, cleaning up and going back on the iPad. Like, it's important for them to be like, okay, y'all, stop. Put your iPads on the charger, put it in the living room, get off of it. You can play with toys, or you can go in the backyard and you can go play, right? I think it's important to go play with your kids also. So be interactive with them. Show them that you can also take a break from watching TV or being on your phone, or sitting on the phone talking to your friends, or being in front of your computer. Like, if you can't step away and take a break, how are you telling your children to step away and take a break? Like, you need a mental break, they need a mental break. If kids didn't need a mental break when they're doing virtual school, they would have no breaks, right? Even teachers need a mental break from teaching while they teach hours of the day, okay? And maybe your kid feels comfortable, especially if you have multiple kids, to go outside and talk, to go for a walk and talk. Maybe it's the thing around 5 o'clock every day, you guys go for a walk around the neighborhood. I don't know. I think it's very important for parents to learn to read your kids' body language, because if you don't read your kids' body language, then you'll never know when they're really upset, or when they're really sad, or when they're hiding something, or when they're forcing an emotion that's not really there, right? There's some kids that hide in plain sight of their parents, and their parents don't know what their kid actually looks like, or how their kid actually acts when they're sad, or when they're angry, or when they're confused, because they haven't spent enough time reading their kid. So I think that's a big part of mental health. Also, asking your kids, like, why about things. If you're not sure, ask them why. Some kids are really good at explaining things to parents, so don't automatically think that your kid is not going to be able to explain it to you because you're a kid. Sometimes parents overassume instead of just asking. And if the kid said that they just scared, ask them, what are they scared of? Regular, okay? Treat your kid like a human being, because they are human beings. And I think it's really about balance with both parents. Balance is very important, meaning the same amount of time that you're spending with a mom, I think it's healthy to have the same amount of time that they're spending with their dads, right? It's very important. Maybe your child is way more comfortable with their dad talking about certain things versus their mom, or vice versa. Just because um, you pay for them to have what they need doesn't mean that's enough. Okay. Just being available helps your child tremendously. The worst thing people could do is shame their kids for being honest and open with them. And the worst thing parents can do is not be available, or put things in front of their kids as if they need to suck it up and don't stop being sad, or stop acting like that, or stop being like that, or why are you like that, and not really want to know why. They just want to shove them to the side because they're messing up what they got going on, or they're holding back them getting something done, like right now, because they're in their emotions. Kids need to be able to know how to process their emotions in a healthy way before they become adults, because then you leave adults who didn't know how to process their emotions as children for somebody else to deal with, right? So, mental health is super important. Those are some ways where you can help your child's mental health in the house. Please pull them away from those devices and be aware of what to look for regarding your child's mental health. Seek therapists if your child needs to go to therapists. If you know for sure that your child has dealt with some type of trauma, let them talk to somebody. There are virtual therapists. There are therapists that they can talk to on their iPads or their iPhones. Um, there are places where you can take them to talk. You don't have to tell your whole family that your child is seeing a therapist. You don't have to ask other parents, do you think I should take my child to a therapist? If you feel like deep down you cannot help your child, go take your child to a therapist. All right. My name is Shan. I am a mom of two. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you what options you have to do what you need to do. Thank you for listening to Cozy Womb Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcast app, Spotify, Google Podcast app, Player FM, Radio Public. We are on other podcast platforms, so don't be a stranger. You can also follow me on Twitter at Cozy Womb Pod and IG at Cozy Womb Pod. On Clubhouse, I am on there sometimes under She Gets a Pod, which is my other podcast. But thank you, and I appreciate you and all your donations that you've been donating to the podcast. Our link is within the description. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, continue good parenting. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.